What did you gain after a loss? Any loss. The loss of weight, a partner, money, a job, your parents, a bad habit, a disaster, a lifestyle. Looking back, what was the gain, the gift as it were, of losing something or someone? While out on this walk, I happened upon this question when I'm thinking about my life post-corporate. What was the gift I gained after being retrenched and unable to secure a full-time job? Join me as I chat about how this and another loss turned into my great gifts. I'm the Forest Fairy. Welcome to my corner of the woods where I'm rebuilding, revamping, redesigning a magical life and hopefully inspire you to gather your own fairy dust. Hello everyone, I hope you're having an excellent week. We've had some really glorious days, but the temperature is definitely on its way down. So what did you lose that eventually became a wonderful gift? What did you gain after a loss? And you may, as I've had to do, is to go and think about this deeply. Two of my major losses were stepping out of the corporate world more or less 3 years ago and last year's flood. So the first step is to probe the loss, and while that may sometimes be nigh impossible during or directly afterwards, it is a vital part of the healing process I found, and of discovering the insights that will lead you to recognizing the gain or the gift. Examine why would this happen to me, but not from a victim mentality, but rather from a more neutral position. Now I know this is not easy, but life, and especially when building a wonderful life, often requires courage and for us to do difficult things. But remember, we're brave. The insights may well be very, very painful or uncomfortable truths, but hindsight is a wonderful thing, and I don't mean this sarcastically, as I found when I delved into my sense of loss when leaving corporate. Why would I possibly feel a sense of loss when I was, for the last 10 years of my career, very stressed, with my health taking the brunt, high levels of cortisol, low levels of anxiety and depression, overweight, snappy, and basically joyless. Now, it wasn't all the result of my job, and of course, as with most things, it wasn't all bad. I learned a tremendous amount, made some lifelong hartsmense, people of my heart, and the discomfort sent me on a path of self-development and training in various modalities. Think The Hero's Journey by Joseph Campbell. In fact, watch the movie Finding Joe. I'll link it below. This concept really leveled up my thinking around my life, the things that have happened to me. Maybe we need to dedicate a whole conversation to this concept. The next step I took was to find the gain or gift. Now, this is sometimes easier in some situations, while in others you really need to link up your insights like a roadmap or a puzzle. I took the time to review the events, the opportunities, the people, etc., however small, that followed the loss, and I plotted how my life had changed. Maybe it's immediately obvious, or maybe it's a gradual trajectory that only becomes clear months, years, decades later. And it has you realizing, oh yes, that's why that happened. I see it now. So in the case of the flood, it really pulled the carpet out from under me, or more accurately, bundled them up in heaps of slimy mud. I still had a few corporate projects and had just started with Your Forest Fairy. In fact, it happened 2 days after I had posted my first conversation. The cleanup and the nomading after the flood had me dropping the ball in all areas and raised more questions and confusion than I could cope with. Was this the sign that I should leave the village and go back to the city? What if I couldn't go back to my little cottage? What should I do? Until eventually I landed up at my sister's place a month after the event. And in the quiet space that she gave me, I sat with myself and God for hours on end, and asked and listened and wept until I was quiet enough to hear the answer. The way I was doing things wasn't exactly right, and I needed to get with the program. The gift, in other words, was changing how I viewed and approached my life. I needed to stop playing it safe and in the third person. I needed to be more authentically me. And I needed to trust that God, the universe, or whatever you may name it, had my back. And I needed to lean into this every single day through prayer, meditation, and journaling. As to the loss of the corporate life, well, for a while I mourned the loss of the monies and the lifestyle that it gave. But the gift of this loss was time, that absolutely invaluable, unrecoverable asset. I gained time. I've gone from a hectic, stressful life scheduled by others to one where my time is my own and I can choose how to fill my days. Yes, of course, there are still the mundane tasks that need to be done. The cleaning, the dishes, the laundry. Sometimes I don't feel like taking the mongrels for a walk. And yes, I still need to earn a living. But I'm reframing it from the point that I'm blessed to get to choose to do these things on my terms and in my time. What did you gain from your loss? Was the only way to get this gift by losing something or someone? The third step or aspect is a continual one. Don't waste the gift or become complacent about it. It's so easy to recognize the importance of something, but actually actioning it is something else. I had to change my hit and miss kind of connection to God into a fixed morning routine. Of course, there are times when I just jump out of bed and continue with my day, but it has its consequences in my case. My thoughts become a bit more scattered, indecision, uncertainty. And yes, my connection is not limited to just the mornings. I have constant chats and link-ups. Did I mention that I'm quirky? Well, this is me being authentically me. And in the case of the gift of time, sure, this one needs constant attention. I have to make sure that I use this wonderful gift appropriately and not allow my days to be filled with too many unimportant distractions. My days are quite full and I really do try to prioritize the things that support my major focus areas for 2024, as I mentioned in my conversation about the purpose of my home. 2 areas are blessedly on track, but not so much the health and fitness focus. But I'm not going to beat myself up about it, and I'm going to slowly get back to its requirements. In some cases, I felt heartbroken at my losses, but eternally grateful for the gains and gifts that followed. I'm sorry for your loss, but encourage you to find the gift that is almost always there. I know it's sometimes painful, but I'm wishing you a wonderful journey of discovery and sprinklings of fairy dust as we continue redesigning a magical life. Until next time, goodbye.